Good evening. I am live on Midnight's Edge After Dark. Midnight's Edge After Dark. Notice I didn't play the other intro because it features all the names of all the people that have been on this show all year long, none of whom are here. In fact, I think Tom is either at the movies or asleep. Tom sent all of us a DM and said, hey, is anyone available? No one responded quickly. Of course, yours truly, Mexican Iron Man, the only non-YouTuber that's in the DM group on Twitter, X, whatever we call it now, saw the message while he was driving home to bring Mama some Southern Carolina shrimp and fixins for dinner. Mexican Iron Man got home and said, you know what? It's New Year's. And while Tom is asleep, because Andre, here's a little clue in, folks. Here's a little inside baseball knowledge here. You ready? All right. Here's some baseball knowledge. I'll use my Andre voice. Way back when we decided to provide Mikey with access as an administrator to our channels, just in case there might be a need for a backup. Well, here we are, New Year's Eve, and oh Lord, oh no one is here to control the Mexican. Ha ha! Yeah, let me tell you what you don't do. You don't let Mexican Iron Man get administrative rights to your StreamYard and YouTube accounts and then tell him there's going to be a show and he bust ass on the Hilton Head Island Parkway to get home and then nobody show up. Well, here we are, people. It's New Year's. Let's see who we got in the chat. And I just want to say that I'm here primarily for two reasons. One, Happy New Year. But two, let's whore Mexican Iron Man out and make Tom some money on his channel for New Year's. Yep. The list of what I'm not, because I don't have to work tomorrow, the list of what I'm willing to do for Super Chats just might be an expansive list. In fact, let's just call it, if this were a video game on YouTube, tonight would be the DLC expansion pack. Think about it. DLC expansion pack. Let's see who we got. We got XXHBK, who acknowledges that I am not a YouTuber. You are correct. I am merely a substitute teachers. He notes that Mikey is late and drunk already. I am not drunk already yet. Quite. Well, I did on an empty stomach have one Bloody Mary, and I did have one glass of white wine Chardonnay. But that does not a drunk Mexican make for me. We seem to have a disturbing lack of rabbit and Alf confetti. Well, Vorpal Bunny's revenge. That is true. That is true. That is because Alf sucks. Let's see. It says, someone makes a cup. Man, this thing moving fast today. Okay, hold on. Let me say. Okay, I'm not a YouTuber. You people got to slow down here. Y'all got to slow down here because I'm just a low country Mexican accountant, and y'all moving fast in the chat. All 60 of you that are here. Yes. All right. It's 5:35. There's no stream. It's all a lie. All right. Well, and but you leave me alone. All right. We've got a super chat. Our first super chat of the night from Elijah Snow for $5 says, I can get behind that. So, Mike, how about them cord injections? Well, wait, did something else happen today? So help me God, Elijah Snow. If something else happened today that I missed. Okay. Oh my God, we have a guest. Price of Reason.
Yeah, I'm here.
Hey, guess what? The learning lesson of tonight, Price, is don't give Mikey admin rights on your StreamYard or your YouTube channel unless you're willing to accept the consequences.
I was surprised because usually the stream starts at like 7:05-ish, and suddenly I got a notification that there was a stream with you, and then I'm like, oh, okay. And then I looked and saw that I actually have an invite. So I figured I'd join you.
You're a regular guest on this here channel.
Yeah, I think I am.
But who would have known? Well, I'll bet Tom's asleep right now or driving or he's at the movies. He has Tom. I did not get, okay. But everybody on the internet, if you're going to send super chats to me, this might be the last night you can ever send a super chat to my attention, because after Andre and Tom find out what I've done, I very well could be fired from both Midnight's Edge After Dark and Midnight's Edge in the Morning. And this could be the last time that anyone ever sees me again.
You know, I'm sort of an accomplice here, so I may get thrown out as well. Because this is actually before the stream starts. I just joined because I'm like, well, if Mikey can do it, I can do it.
Yeah!
We should do a watch party and watch The Accountant together.
Yes! Yes! We could do an EFAP.
An EFAP for The Accountant.
We're going to do an EFAP. My channel or yours?
You know what? Any channel. We could do it on my channel.
All right. Done.
You know what? Sometime we should do that. Remember you said that? I'm going to bother you and we're actually going to do that.
I'm done. I'm in. Dude, this is done. This is not me saying yes because there's like 100 people watching and then I'm just going to ghost you.
No, there's going to be a stream on my channel and we're going to watch...
Here's the only thing. We have to do it before January 20th because then tax season goes into high gear and I'm just gone till March.
No problem. We can do that before January 20th. We'll find a day that's good for you and a time.
Yeah, because Saturday
even
afternoon or morning.
Even if it's
night.
like a completely random time, we'll do whenever you can do it, and we'll do an accountant review.
We got another super chat from Sportin' Bot 1001 for $5. Says time for an Alf marathon. Have fun. Okay, while I appreciate the $5 for Tom, I do not appreciate the Alf discussion. Okay, this is New Year's. So time to be happy. Freaking people. Oh my God, Script Doctor's here.
Hey, I'm coming in through my phone. How do I sound, guys?
You sound great.
Yeah.
I thought you were in bed naked with your girlfriend.
That's in 8 hours.
Oh, that's in 8 hours from now?
Yeah, I'm downtown Toronto. I found a quiet spot. I wanted to come in here. Wish you gentlemen and everyone in the chat a Happy New Year. I think 2025 is going to be great. So, and I'm hoping that that greatness spreads around to a lot of people.
Well, thank you very much. And I owe you an apology because a year and a half ago, you predicted that by the end of 2024 and the beginning of 2025, the woke stuff would burn out. In fact, I remember you actually said on one of these streams that regardless of the upcoming political election, that you felt that in Hollywood it was burning out and we would see the tide turn in 2024 and more so in 2025. So you were right. I was wrong.
Well, a lot of people doubted me, but I did that on like within the first 50 Midnight's Edge in the morning shows. I think is when I made that prediction because I already saw the flags saying, "Yep, we're walking away from that mentality." And now we're starting to see the results, and I hope they keep going strong, regardless of this election. I'm pretty sure they will.
Yep.
I think over the next year we're still going to be seeing like residual crap from things that were developed or made. They won't be able to delete everything. We're still going to get some stupid things in the next year, but I feel like 2026, I'd be surprised if they continue this thing. You always said that and everybody else says that they think Disney is going to be the final holdout, and maybe they will be, but even they have to let go of some of this crap, I think.
Eventually they will. I mean, and that will happen when leadership at Disney changes. But yeah, what's going to happen is the stuff that we saw, in its higher frequency, it's going to find its appropriate niche, which means it's still going to be around, but its seepage into, the bigger IPs or the stuff that would be trailblazers looks like that's going to be diminished significantly.
Great. Can we, now that you're predicting stuff, can you predict if we're going to get stuff that'll be more kind of manly and macho and less like pussies and stuff like that? A portrayal of men?
Not for a lack of trying, but I've already read a number of little of stories that are being pitched. We're being pitched this year that is more of a throwback to some of the more masculine stories, some of which were done in the mid 40s, some of which that started out in the 70s and with a little bit dash of the 80s. I don't think we'll ever get there 100% as it used to be, but there'll definitely be some sort of new variation of it. That is
will there always be like
that
they try to make them make the men a little more masculine, but then they're kind of like there's women barking at them and they apologize all the time? I really want that to go away. I'm not saying I think that women are great and there's a lot of great characters you can give them, even quote unquote strong women or whatever it is. Just that same stupid thing that the men have to apologize all the time. I want that one to end.
Well, that part I think has ended because I'm struggling to find a show where the male character lead is apologized to women all the time. I mean, you could say like season 1 Picard. That's years ago, but yeah, I think that part is gone. I mean, one of the things we have to be very careful of is that when you're doing masculine men, you have to make sure that they still have flaws, that they're still struggling to achieve a goal or their goal.
Right.
Like
No, I'm not
Rambo's
saying
not fun when he's just standing there like Chuck Norris shooting down everybody in the
No, they don't have to be
Expendables.
like Gary Stews, you know what I mean, or
Yeah.
whatever the opposite of a Mary Sue is. They don't have to be like that. And yeah, I mean, when you think of stuff like Die Hard, you know, in that movie, his wife is more successful than him. She left him, and he's kind of an idiot, but he's the man still. You know what I
And
mean?
he's doing it for her. Like that's the thing. His
Right,
motivation
right.
is the masculine motivation of doing it because it's the right thing to do, or for someone else that they care about, whether it's a spouse, whether it's a child, whether it's a parent or a sibling. Those things I think just need to be upped a little bit more in regards to the priority, because those motivations are still around, but they're so tempered by other aspects. I mean, the rings of power, the motivations are there, but they're so pushed into the background that you're like, why am I watching this? And that's a valid reason, because you're not watching it based on why the characters are doing what they're doing. You're watching it because the writing team doesn't understand how to keep motivation at the tip of their tongue, and instead decides, oh no, but let's have a conversation about this little aspect and play with this area of lore. And all you have to ask yourself is, well, if you're going to do that, how does that factor into why the character is doing that? Because this is a principal rule. This is not just for like lefty screenwriters back in the day, like William Goldman to a degree. He was more centrist, and David Mamet. They were all basically like this. If your character isn't saying, your character only speaks when they speak in a method that helps them get to their goal quicker. So there should never be any type of throwaway line. There should never be any type of pontification or monologuing for the sake of the monologue. That's the writer's personal politics, whether it's whatever on the spectrum, getting through instead of focusing on the story. If you have a guy who's like, my goal is to get this woman to fall in love with me, in a comedy, every single action he does should, from his perspective and from us understanding his perspective, equate to him doing this thinking he is going to succeed. And when he fails, that's where we laugh. And when he wins, we get that catharsis where we're like, yes, great, he got what he wanted. We just have to get back to those basics. And I think those basics are at the forefront now, because I chuckle reading the trades of writers who you probably haven't heard of saying it's really hard to get work now. And the question you're asking is, I ask myself is, well, if it's hard for you to get work, yet the guys doing Breaking Bad, the guys doing traditional network stuff, they're not complaining. Why aren't they complaining? Well, they're getting work. Why are they getting work? Well, they have a track record of writing successful television or film that pays off. And that's the direction that people are going. If you want to keep making art, you have to make something that makes money. And it doesn't have to come at the expense of your art. That's the biggest obstacle right now, because Hollywood's executives that make a lot of the decisions, they don't think about art. They think about strategy. They think about marketing. They're not thinking about what would be really cool that people would like
And they're
to
thinking
see.
about getting blowjobs, I would assume.
I mean, that's never not been the case in anywhere in corporate America, really. I mean, like, I'm on a countdown for my one myself. And I did that all for Mikey's expression right there.
Oh, hello there.
Hey, CC, how you doing, man?
Hey, Cece.
Tom's hiring immigrants now to run his show, make his money for him.
Cece, I see you took a break.
Outsourcing.
I see you took a break from listening to Avril Lavigne songs and joined
Oh
us.
yeah, that was really hard, man. I really worked her, but in the end, I got it.
That's what CC does when you don't see him. He has like Avril Lavigne posters on his wall. I'll never let
I
that
cannot
go.
deny or confirm
So
this.
just so I can share it with everybody in the chat, everybody in chat, the only reason there's anybody on the screen is I pretty much guilt shame them on Twitter DMs to show up tonight.
It's true. I was working on stuff, and I was probably just. gonna
DC
not
was
show up.
out. Price was out.
I actually planned to show up here on the regular time. I think that there was a message that somebody asked if we can do an earlier short one, and I wasn't able to. But once the thing would have started, I would have been here, and I was already home. So when I saw your face on my feed, I just joined.
I love a shit show, so as soon as I saw that you were doing this for real, I mean, how could I stay away?
Yeah, I just grabbed my iPhone and I did a Bitmoji for Happy New Year, and that became our what do you call these things? These you YouTubers, what do you call them? The little picture thingies?
Thumbnails?
Thumbnails, that's it. Thumbnails. Look at me acting like I don't know what they are.
Did you notice I was on a spaceship? No, nobody's excited that I'm on a ship.
Oh my God, Price of Reason. Your background is amazing. It's like you're on a spaceship somewhere in space. Oh my God.
Exactly. You look like you're on a spaceship too.
Well, this is actually like my real, like I'm touching. This is actually my real room.
It's cool though. It has like a spaceship type of feel to it.
You like that? That's my gaming console center. You see that?
Yeah,
Behind me
nice.
to the left?
That screen is like taller than you.
Yeah, it's pretty. Yeah, it's like it's a 48-inch wide. Well, it's not taller than me, but it's 48 inches wide.
You know what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Ha 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 ha.
We both saw Nosferatu.
Yes, I did.
And you even watched my review, which surprised me. I never know what Mikey does. Like he'll suddenly watch a review and comment on it. And I'm like, oh, he actually watches my channel.
Yeah. I don't always leave a comment though, and I don't always tell people that when I'm live or when I'm watching. So that's the first thing we can talk about. Okay, Script, did you see it yet?
No, I haven't seen Nosferatu, but it looks really cool. And some of the reviews that I've been hearing, I haven't been listening to all of them because I don't want to be spoiled.
Don't. Yeah,
but-
don't.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool.
So Price, we got to have a non-spoiler review discussion. CC, you haven't seen it, right?
No.
I can do spoiler free. The thing is that I think that it was good. I didn't really know what to expect. I didn't read reviews or really look before at anything prior, and I went to see it, and I was pleasantly surprised by it. The performances were good. It built the right kind of atmosphere. The only thing I said in my review is that it's a movie that may not be for everyone, in the sense that if you're sort of a more typical horror movie, you just want like a slasher that goes around and kills people, and it's more of a lot of thrills and that kind of horror movie. That's not what this movie is. This is a little more artsy. So
Yep.
I don't know if it would be right for everybody, but I kind of like this stuff, so I enjoyed it.
I thoroughly enjoyed it as well. There were only what I would call a couple of true jump scare type of things. And Mexican Iron Man has a confession.
Yes.
Okay, so you guys know how Script knows this, and see. Okay, you guys know how I portray myself as being Mr. Tough Tactical Guy.
Yeah, and a ladies' man too.
And
that, for
that's a
sure.
fact. For 4 decades, Mexican Iron Man has been closing deals one deal at a time, if you know what I mean. Anyway, but when it comes to horror and spooky movies, Mexican Iron Man is a little bit of a, what's the word I would use?
Gentlemen?
A tortilla sissy pants. Yeah. So there was, I won't say what scene it was, but there was a scene that happened in the first hour, and I was eating them. Okay, I always get the same thing. I get my popcorn with my butter and my salt and all that. Which I shouldn't eat, but it's only when I go to the movies, maybe once every couple weeks. Anyway. And then I got my nachos with my double cheese and my extra jalapenos. Okay. So I'm sitting there, Mexican Iron Man slamming his tortilla chips, because that's what Mexicans do, because that's what our people do. So I'm sitting there slamming my tortilla chips with my cheese. I'm putting my little jalapenos on because I put them on, and then I put the jalapenos on, and then I carefully dip them in the cheese, and then okay, like that. Well,
Can't tell if you're not describing sex right now.
wait, what?
I think that's
What?
intentional.
All right. Anyway, I don't know what you guys are talking about. I feel like that was a
It's
compliment.
not a tease, it's actually a compliment.
It felt like a compliment, but it sounded like a compliment, but it didn't feel like it. But whatever. Anyway, so I'm sitting there eating Price, and then there's this jump scare thing, and all of a sudden I'm like, ah! The nachos go flying, the chips go this way, the jalapenos go that way, and the cheese just goes all over the floor, and the thing flips over, and everything's on the floor. And it was a double order because because at this movie theater they do double, so they get double the chips, double the cheese, double the thing comes out like it's like you're at a football game or a baseball stadium. It's like this high, right? And I was just starting it, getting succulent, you know.
Mm-hmm.
The only thing is, was there a lady with you at this movie?
No, I went, but no. First of all, Mexican Iron Man does not take chicks to horror movies with with him, because Mexican Iron Man knows that he has what I'm gonna call okay. You know how Superman like has the kryptonite thing?
Then your kryptonite is the movies, and you don't want them to see you in that state, so you know to go by yourself.
Godfather, you understand everything.
But I will say that those nachos, I had it in the past few months. At some point, I went to a theater and I was really hungry, and I'm like, okay, I'll get these nachos and these chips, which I don't usually get, and I ate them, and I feel like my stomach hurt for a few days after I ate them. It's too cheesy. It's too rich, too cheddary. There's too much cheesy liquid stuff.
That's called goodness.
What'd you say?
Yeah, but I'm used to cheesy, liquidy stuff like ever since I lost my virginity. So, you know.
Listen, I like Mexican food, and I actually eat it. I don't know if as frequently as you, but I do eat it frequently, and I like it. It's just that the cheddary theater thing that you dip those nachos in, I don't love that cheddar.
Yeah, so I mean, it was a significant mess. Like it was embarrassing. And the thing is the theater was actually pretty full. Like I was in shock that there was anybody there. A Sunday night, and I'm like, it's a Sunday night. I was like, why is it like the theater was like mostly full? And there was one empty seat. Okay, so I always buy 2 tickets because I like to put my shit on the left because I don't want, okay, because Mexican Iron Man needs his little storage region area. And so then there was like the row was full after that. And so like after I went, and everything went flying, the guy and his girlfriend were like, look over like,
as one does.
dude, it was awful. I felt like a little Mexican taco bitch. It was awful.
I will say this: people were asking how is it different from the original, and this is my best explanation. It's as if they use the original as like a blueprint. They took the original movie. Sometimes, like when you see storyboards and stuff, it's almost like the original is sort of a storyboard of sorts, like a blueprint that later they built the new movie on. There's scenes in it that you're like, okay, in the original, there's sort of a scene like this. Obviously, it looks in this new one way better. The plot also and the story becomes a little more elaborate, but I feel like there's a lot of key moments and key beats of the story that they kept in there. They just sort of upgraded everything. And that's what I like, that it was a way to honor the original, but also to make it fresh and new. And that's what I really liked about this movie.
Yeah, I would say that is a brilliant explanation. It is like literally like you're gonna build a house, and the original was the blueprints that were in 2D,
Right.
and what we just saw with this movie was the built out house listed on the real estate market, where it's a Sunday afternoon and it smells like cookies and horror milk as you're like walking through it for a tour.
Agreed. So yeah, if that was the 2D version, this is the 3D version, but I mean that in a good way.
Yep.
But it makes sense that after over 100 years, there will be things that they can do today that they didn't do then. But you know what? After watching the new one, I watched the old one, and I was still really impressed, as I always am, that the original one got so many things correct. It did so many things right, even with the limited tools it had available. I'm always impressed by the work that Marnow did on the original. And a lot of the ideas there still hold up, even though obviously Eggers has a whole plethora of tools that guy never had available.
I mean, look, they hired a real vampire to play the vampire in the original, so it's kind of hard to beat that.
Yeah.
True.
Wait, what?
Well, the original movie.
Yeah, it's a real vampire.
What?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
You ever watched the
Nosferatu.
original?
Yeah, I just saw it like a few months ago.
That's a real vampire.
No, it's
not.
not.
It's no actor.
Why are you
I've seen
messing with me?
I've seen the original. I've also seen the Midnight's Edge reworking of the original, or restoration, or whatever you want to call it, which was also good.
Wow. Yeah. Well, the Midnight's Edge thing was just amazing. All right, so that's enough Nosferatu talk. We actually have a story. We
shit,
have.
really?
I'm going to try to act like Tom and actually be professional a little bit. I'm going to try. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to try. Okay, you guys ready for me to try to be a host? Okay, I'm a country low country count from South Carolina, so I'm just trying to figure out your YouTuber ways from the big city.
Like all the
Hey,
super
you know what?
chats that are building up.
Why? You guys could act like you believe me. Oh, Sofa King Jewish became a YouTube member. Yay! All right.
Congo level.
Well, he's at the Congo level now. Well, hold on. We got to do something special for that. All right. Who's getting naked first?
I'm off camera, so I'm out.
Script, we don't have to show your face. We could just show. Actually, no, we're going to need a wide angle lens for your groinal region, probably, knowing you.
I'm also in public right now, so unfortunate.
All right. Well, for the Congo level, he gets a maximum effort. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. More shit that Bambino can't do is what we're going to call that video. And then Sofa King Jewish also gets for upgrading to the Congo level. Okay, that's too cute.
People in the chat are asking, where's Tom? So I just want to tell him that he's been race swapped.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you
he
guys
hired the immigrant to do his work for him today?
Have you guys not heard of have you guys have people not heard of this thing called DEI?
Oh yeah.
Well, it's finally been implemented here on Midnight's Edge After Dark.
And Midnight's Edge. Andre was under incredible pressure by the woke left. He was in the he's in the Europe, so he was under huge pressure from the European Union. And so look, we have to make some decisions around here. And look, I either spray painted Tom Brown tonight with oil-based paint, or I ran the show tonight. So those are your two options. All right. And then I have a special new visa program. I'm going to solve the immigration. Everybody stay tuned. In about 20 minutes, we're going to launch Mexican Iron Man's new immigration solution to solve this Vivek, Elon Musk, Trump immigration stuff. Script Doctor, you will want to hear about my new plan. Stay tuned, everybody.
Looking forward to it.
What?
I'm looking forward to that because
Shinatsky for $2 says Mike's worst nightmare. They make Alfaratu.
I'll go watch that.
Sorry, I'm a little bit on a delay here. My phone is heating up, so I don't want to interrupt anyone, but I do want to wish everyone out there a wonderful New Year's Eve. I'll be listening into you guys while I can, but I want to say thanks for the invite, and as always, here's to the end of 2024, and here's to some great stuff happening in 2025.
Love you,
Take
my
care,
brother.
guys. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye. All right, we're going to actually try to cover a serious... Shinatsky, thank you for your very funny super chat. Everybody, if you want to send in super chats, they all go to Tom, not me. And if there's anything you want Mexican Iron Man to respond to or do or ask our great panelists, Price and CC Karaoke, men who are much more intelligent and have their fingers on the pulse of culture much more so than I, feel free to super chat. We'd love to have them.
Maybe it'll keep Mike from getting fired.
Maybe. It'll take,
look, Tom shows up when there's a few bucks in his bank account. He'd be like, this is a good idea. I think I should keep Mike on the job. Do this more often.
People
technically the stream, the stream is only supposed to start now.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Tom's probably still asleep. He'll wake up.
I went early. I went early.
See what's going on.
I thought I saw a message from him at the beginning.
I went early. So Tom's going to wake up right now. His alarm's going to go off. He's like, these guys are already live. And Tom's about to lose his shit with me. I guarantee it.
Stay tuned.
We're not even
find
supposed
out.
to be live
Sooner
until
or
right
later
now.
he's going to hop in here. And we're going to find out.
Right. He put a message. He put a message at 6:32 and wrote, tonight is your unlucky night because you might be stuck with a Mexican tonight.
That's what I wrote.
Okay.
Oh, you wrote it?
I wrote that.
Okay, so Tom does not know this is happening yet.
Tom has zero idea that this is happening. I did not ask for permission from Tom or Andre. They're
That's
probably right now trying to log on to the StreamYard and kill the show. We've got
All
another
right, well,
super
stay
chat
tuned.
from Goddess of Whim, a great Goddess of Whim 2003, a great wrench of ours for $2 says, "Hey, look, Mikey is a YouTuber." Nope. I am merely, what am I? I am the demon Nosferatu who has taken over this stream on Midnight's Edge After Dark without authorization. I have demonically possessed this channel.
That's a great profile picture, by the way.
Why, thank you. Why, thank you. All right, now we got one of two options. I can either go to a story in Variety and like a real Midnight's Edge After Dark right now, or I could tell you what my solution is for the immigration visa crisis. Chat, what say you? All right, 1 for story, 2 for Mikey's solution to the immigration crisis, which CC and Price will respond to. Let's see what the chat says. 1 for Variety News story about entertainment, 2 for immigration solution. All right, so far the Price, help me with this. What do you see in the chat?
You know, the Midnight's Edge After Dark thing to do would have probably been the Variety article,
Right.
but there's a part of me that's just curious to hear what you think about immigration solutions, and I'm sure that this will really annoy Andre and Tom even more. So go
We're
ahead,
already probably
do it.
demonetized.
In for a penny, in for a pound.
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Like, I wonder if they blocked me yet on Twitter.
I don't know.
Well, we have an immigration expert here.
Here's the funny thing. I'll bet what happens is this: I'll bet while we're live, they set up another stream and they go live over there. What do you think?
It's possible.
It'd be karma for what you did to culture.
What do I do? You know what I've been trying to do for Culture is get his channel to 100,000 forever. He isn't listening.
Yeah,
All
that's
right,
true.
people.
How come
of
you
the
don't do
internet,
that with my channel? Wait a minute. My channel could use a few extra subscribers.
People of the internet, your champion is here. Your champion on immigration is here on Midnight's Edge After Dark. I know that we're an entertainment channel. We're not supposed to get political, but when politics and culture intersects, actually, I have no idea how this intersects with politics and culture.
How did it intersect? It seems really political.
Okay, Price, how does this intersect with politics and culture?
I guess you could say that Elon Musk is sort of pop culture-ish because he has a social media network, and this was on a social media network discussion.
Yes.
It's very flimsy, this connection, to be honest.
I don't know. Elon's at the center of pop culture these days.
Yeah, he's sort of a pop culture figure. That's the only reason maybe you could bring up something. He got himself into a bit of hot water by weighing in on this.
All right. Well, Dyrus says for $5, Mexican Iron Man, I really appreciate your take on the H1 issue with Latino sliders today. Well, thank you, Dyrus. Dyrus. Thank you very much. I won't repeat all of that because I went on a political rant, but I do have a solution for the immigration crisis. You guys ready?
Yep.
All right. So first of all, we don't want to stop all immigration because some immigration might be good, in my opinion.
Like
now,
me.
there's a lot of immigration that's whack, but some immigration could be good. Can we agree on that principle number 1, boys?
Well, I
can agree with
because
that.
otherwise you kind of get people talking out of both sides of their ass. You got to be, you're going to go against the thing. You got to,
good.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
All right, great. So that's principle number 1. Principle number 2, can we all agree that there needs to be screening and vetting of any and all immigrants that want to apply here?
Sure.
Sounds smart. You know,
Right.
I went on a little vacation a month or 6 weeks ago. They have facial recognition now, and I would normally be against that. But in this case, I thought to myself, you know what? That's okay. They scan my face. If there's something to be concerned about it, they're going to know about it. And if they're not, then they know that too. And everything was very, very smooth about it. So,
And number 3, can we agree on this third principle that before being granted blanket amnesty or naturalization or permanent resident or permanent citizen, that whoever wants to immigrate here has to show up and prove their worth and their value? Can we agree on this principle?
this is where it gets a little tricky, though. I mean, I agree with you, But what
Just in
qualifies
theory.
as okay?
We're not
okay,
at the
yeah.
numbers yet, just in theory. Price?
I
You agree?
suppose it sounds fine. Yeah, I mean, sure.
CC karaoke?
In broader concept, yes.
Okay. Therefore, henceforth, there it be resolved that Mexican Iron Man here on Hilton Head Island shall initiate and launch the H1 Do Me visa program for all smoking hot Colombian, South American, Eastern European chicks to immigrate to the United States. Thank you.
Didn't your future leader already approve this?
The H1 Do Me visa
I mean, it's a good plan.
here on Hilton Head Island.
As long as these ladies know what they've signed up for, I suppose it's all right.
In essence, then, if you're smoking hot chick from Colombia, South America, or Eastern Europe, maybe a few other countries I'll pick randomly. I got to consult with my colleague, legal Andrew, legal mindset.
The screening
Basically,
process
then,
is Mikey.
This house here, Chateau Mexican Iron Man in Hilton Head Island, will become the new Ellis Island of the new millennium.
Okay, I think
It's a
that we've
solid
managed.
plan.
It's
All
too
in
bad
favor?
that
Just make sure you get them checked out for disease before you screen them.
We got plenty of time for that later. All in favor? Aye.
you can do a YouTube where you spend time with 100 ladies at the same time, just like that lady did. You could be the male version,
What do you mean? Oh, wait, what?
the one that I don't know if it depends on what your capabilities are, but maybe 1,000 women in one day. Is that possible?
Mexican Iron Man has plenty of capabilities. If there's one thing I know how to do more than taxes, it's this. I can do this.
So 1,000 ladies a day, you could do that?
Well, hold on. Wait, hold on.
You gotta do the math there.
Hold on, let me do the math. Hold on. Let's do the math at home. Okay, 1,000. Okay, hold on, let's do the math. Okay, everybody, we're gonna do the math at home here. And then we'll go to our news story of the day. Because now Tom's waking up and we gotta act like a serious show.
You'd have a little bit over a minute each, but that assumes that
Okay,
you can
so
recharge
we're gonna enter
time.
in. How many did you say price?
1,000 ladies in one day
Okay,
for your H1 visa program.
Okay, do I get to sleep in that day? Like, can I take some? Like, I'm gonna need what? Or do I just?
No, you get no
No.
breaks. You can't even go to the bathroom. You just have
Okay,
to be like a
that means-
machine.
That means I got to do 41 of these chicks every hour.
Yep.
Why
That sounds about right.
Divided by.
Now, to be fair, you don't have to like give them the full Monty. It's more of an in and out type of situation.
Dude,
It has to be like a conveyor belt of these H1 visa ladies, and you understand what I'm saying.
Dude, if you do the math, look, this is how you know life is like beckoning and summoning me to do this. All right, so we're gonna start with 1,000 chicks, right? Can you see that number?
Yes.
Okay, 1,000 chicks. Everybody, you can play at home. Divided by 24 hours gets me to 41 chicks an hour. 41 prospective new American citizens. Divide that by 60, and look at the number I get. That's how much time I get with each one.
Well, damn.
That's a good number.
Yeah.
I get 0.69 minutes per each
We
lady.
established
It's
any
possible.
rule
Like I
set
said,
as
in
to,
and out.
like-
It has to be. If we can set up a conveyor belt and have them kind of physically sit on it, and you're in one location and you're just kind of back and forth, there may be a way to make this work, Mikey.
That does seem a bit mass production.
I feel like, oh shit. I am
Uh-oh.
so busted right now. Shit.
You
Tom find
busted.
you?
You are busted, Mikey.
Uh-oh.
Tom sent in his number one bodyguard, his number one security force.
Where is Tom?
His number one sharpshooter? I have no idea. I talked
Okay,
to
so
him
Tom
hours
didn't
ago,
actually
and I
wake
said,
up
"So
yet.
what's the plan?" He said, "What are you talking about?" And I'm like, "It's fucking New Year's Eve." Like a week ago, I specifically set time aside to talk to him about what are you going to do? What's the plan? And then he said, "Oh, I forgot it was New Year's Eve." So, and then I woke up and I saw you were live, and I was like, "Wait, what the hell time is it?" So, So I thought
like
I thought I would penetrate the stream.
which is always good. Did you like where our conversation was going?
Six, you didn't hear anything I said before you got here,
well,
right?
I wasn't listening.
Yes.
Well, you missed the
No,
whole
nothing
thing.
at all.
Sweet.
What were you saying?
I don't
I
know.
had to set up my laptop. What were you saying?
We
Were
were
you
talking
talking
about
about
how
looking at
interesting Nosferatu was in comparison to the
Yeah.
original.
We did talk about
I feel like
Nosferatu.
that's
And
not true.
that Mikey likes eating
feel like that's
liquid
not
cheese in
100%
the
true.
movie theater.
Six, did you
Getting
hear
a
my
little
talking?
hotter
Did you
there.
hear me
Doesn't,
talking
like-
about my new immigration program?
I was trying to
What-
steer
what,
us.
Well,
I was
there we
trying to
go.
steer
are
us
you
away
starting
from
an
that,
escort
Mikey.
service?
Okay, I'll just repeat it, Six.
For
'cause
yourself?
That's going to tell you anyways, and I'm going to get busted anyways on the replay. So my new immigration program is
Yeah.
going to be called for the H1 Do Me visa program.
Mikey's going to screen all the new immigrants.
I think
Six
Six
has
walked off the
disappeared.
show.
Yeah, I think she's gone.
Where'd she go?
Maybe she's going back to replay what we talked about.
Oh shit!
That sounds about right. You know, Six remembers
Familiarize
everything.
herself with the material.
Six.
It was a really good conversation, though. I felt that
can
it
you
was
hear me?
really.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
can hear you now.
Okay, sorry.
Did you hear what I said?
Yeah, you're starting an immigration program for H1N1. What are you doing?
Smoking hot chicks can apply to the MexicanIronMan H1 Do Me visa program.
Oh, wow. That's I feel like you already have a lot of applications for that.
It's true.
I feel like I'm
And
called
I feel
to
like
serve.
I feel like you're not even filtering through them, that you're just saying, yep.
I feel like I'm called to serve.
Is
What?
that your ringtone?
No, that's just a random YouTube video.
Oh,
Are you still using a BlackBerry Curve, Mikey? What is that?
What?
Blackberries exist.
It looked like an old
20
phone.
years
Oh,
ago.
sorry.
This
I
is
don't know
an
why.
iPhone 16 Pro, bro. What you
From
talking
that angle, I thought you had a BlackBerry Curve.
Get out of here. All right, now that we've engaged in shenanigans, now let's get serious. It's 7:20, so now is about the time that Tom starts the stream. So we'll actually do a news story, everybody in chat. What do you think?
I
Is
find
Tom
this
here? Where
suspicious
is he?
at best.
He's not here, but we're gonna act like it because then maybe they'll just turn on because now he's going to wake up. He's gonna see what I'm doing, so now I want him to think I'm being professional. Justin
did you try
Baldoni.
calling him?
Oh, that would have been a good idea.
I'm gonna call him.
Okay, call him. You tell him. Did you know that Mikey used your StreamYard login and Andre's YouTube passcode and he started the stream? Justin Baldoni files a $250 million lawsuit against New York Times over the Blake Lively story. It relied on her, quote, self-serving narrative. Exclusive.
Damn.
Wow. I've actually been following this whole thing. I didn't realize that he sued the New York Times. That's crazy.
Well, this just happened at 4 o'clock.
Wow.
This just happened at 7 o'clock tonight. This is released at 3:51 Pacific, 4:50 or 6. Okay, 20 minutes ago. All right. On June 2nd, 2023, Blake Lively began a text exchange with her It Ends With Us director and co-star Justin Baldoni that blamed her assistant for not getting her an updated batch of script pages. She didn't realize they were new, Lively wrote. New pages can always be sent to me as well, please. The actress signed the missive with an X, the universal symbol for a kiss. Blah, 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 blah. All right, let's get to the exciting part. Ready? That discrepancy about the one about the script is one of many highlighted in the scathing $250 million lawsuit filed Tuesday afternoon by Baldoni against the Times in Los Angeles Superior Court. Baldoni is among a group of 10 plaintiffs that also includes publicist Melissa Nathan and Jennifer Abel, who are suing the newspaper for libel and false light invasion of privacy over the December 21st article entitled, quote, "We can bury anyone inside a Hollywood smear machine.
including themselves.
The parties, which also include, quote, It Ends With Us producers Jamie Heath and Steve Serwitz, claim that the Times relied on, quote, cherry-picked and altered communication, stripped of necessary context and deliberately spliced to mislead. Wow, can you imagine that? Hollywood misleading us in publications? The 87-page complaint, which also accuses the Times of promissory fraud and breach of implied in fact contract, offers a rebuttal of the narrative set forth in the 4,000-word article that has rocked Hollywood and led to WME, that's the talent agency, dropping Baldoni as a client hours after publication. Written by Megan Towie, Mike McIntyre, and Julie Tate, the piece painted Lively as an actress who allegedly endured months of sexual harassment from Baldoni and Heath and supposedly faced retaliation in the form of a smear campaign because she voiced concerns. But according to the lawsuit, it was Lively who embarked on a strategic and manipulative smear campaign of her own and used false, quote, sexual harassment allegations to assert unilateral control over every aspect of the production. And according to the suit, Lively's husband, actor Ryan Reynolds, Beta Simp 2.0, allegedly berated Baldoni in an aggressive manner during a heated meeting at the Tribeca penthouse in New York, quote, accusing him of, quote, fat shaming his wife. The suit claims that the A-list actor also pressured Baldoni's WME agent to drop the director during the Deadpool and Wolverine premiere in July, well before Baldoni enlisted crisis public relations. What say everyone on the panel of this exciting story?
Well, I mean, I've actually done a few videos about it on my channel that some people have watched because I've been following this story. And what I've said until now is what I continue to think about this quote-unquote scandal. I think that Blake Lively, she's very kind of, I don't know if to say entitled, she's very kind of spoiled, she's a bit diva-ish, where at the same time, this Justin Baldoni guy, I don't want to say he was a nobody, but his track record was he made a few movies for very low budgets. She joined a production that had a $25 million production budget, basically sort of indie production. She came in there thinking that she'll get Ryan Reynolds treatment. But Ryan Reynolds and this production are two very different things. And even she is not as much of a quote-unquote celebrity as Ryan Reynolds. She walked in there, I think, really expecting that everybody will bow down to her. This Justin Baldoni guy, I don't love him either. He's not my favorite guy in the world, but I think that he just didn't realize that he was in over his head, and he started behaving like he usually does, kind of a low-level, small production where him and his bros hang out and act kind of douchey, and I think that she didn't like it. But at the end of the day, what I said in my videos is she did an emergency meeting. She brought Sony, who was the distributor, representatives of this Justin guy, her own representatives. She brought her husband, Ryan Reynolds. They sat there and they told him, if you wanted to continue to make this movie, you're going to have to agree to a list that we're going to give you this list. You have to agree to everything, and that's the only way that she'll agree to do this movie with you. If you bring intimacy coordinators, if you let her approve the script, you do this, you do that, you let her bring a producer. And you know what he said? He said, okay, I'll agree to everything. I'll do everything you tell me to, and we'll finish the movie this way. And he did it, no problems. The movie came out, made a lot of money, but while they were promoting it, she started doing all this stuff where she's unfollowing him on Instagram. She's doing all this kind of quietly. She won't do press with him, and then all the other cast members are siding with her. It doesn't mean that he's a nice guy or that he behaved properly, but I think that if you apply that kind of muscle to a guy who basically bows down and does everything you said, you can just take that as a win. Instead, she wanted to take it a step further and also make him look bad, and I think it kind of backfired.
I don't know a lot about the details of this story, but drawing on my 18 months of experience trying to get into the industry and just following the industry ever since, it cuts both ways, right? Unless there's something really egregious going on here, they're both going to lose out because they're both going to end up getting a reputation for being difficult to work with. There are ways to handle a situation, and if she's being that publicly demanding, unless it's something like that really actually bad happened, and like I don't know.
No, I actually know the details. I read the entire lawsuit,
Okay.
the original one that was like 5 million pages. Basically, I'll give you an example. So this is one of the gripes that she had. There was a producer that worked with him, and they had a video of the guy's wife giving birth. Now, from what I understand, these guys wanted to do a scene in the movie, which a scene like this exists where the woman gives birth. I guess for a reference, they wanted to show her this video of a lady actually giving birth, and she's like, "How dare you want to show me your wife giving birth?" And he said, "My wife doesn't care. I can show you the video." So apparently this was seen as harassment on her end, and part of her things that she's complaining about is that they wanted her to watch a video of the man's wife giving birth. Now, the way it's worded in that complaint is much worse than what I think really happened. Now, do I think it's kind of strange that the guy wants to show the wife giving birth? Is it kind of creepy and weird? Sure.
Yeah.
But he asked for something. It's relevant to the movie that they're doing a scene like this, so I can at least sort of understand what the guy was saying. I don't know that they got up in the morning and they wanted to ruin Blake Lively's life. I think that they're just two kind of dudes acting a bit douchey and arrogant. This guy thought, "Oh, I'm the king. I have this small production that I'm in charge of." He already did a few movies like that, and they even made money. So maybe he thought to himself, like, "I'm the boss here. I'm numero uno." But he didn't understand that Blake Lively has a net worth of 10 times more money than he does, and Ryan Reynolds has 10 times more money than Blake Lively. When you're dealing with a couple that has like $400 million and that kind of influence in Hollywood, you better not act like you're a dude bro with a few of your friends on some small set. And that's where the problem started, I think.
I don't think I want to hire either of them right now.
No, I wouldn't want to work with either of them. And I'll tell you another thing. This will interest you. This guy, this Justin Baldoni, I looked into him. He has a podcast called Man Enough. And on it, I listened to a few clips, a few things that I was listening to. He doesn't like the patriarchy. He says he's a male feminist. Any guy that goes around and says, I'm a male feminist, already a red flag. Either the guy is a complete douche, or he's a liar, or there's something wrong with him. You know what I'm saying? Nobody in the history of males woke up and said, I'm a male feminist and I want the world to know. Nobody normal does that. I'm sorry, Six. I know that may offend you. Nobody normal does that.
Why would that offend me?
Why would that offend her?
No, because it's not that I'm saying that the guy has to wake up and say that he doesn't like women or he doesn't want equality. The guy that wakes up and says, hey, I don't like the patriarchy, I'm a male feminist, red flag. That is a red flag. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of his. Go on, sorry.
The first thing that went wrong was she didn't lock her trailer while she was breast pumping
True.
for her kid. That's the first thing that happened that was wrong. Well, and he should have knocked, although he was expected. So, sometimes you don't knock on trailers. I don't know. I don't work in Hollywood. I don't, it's a completely different, it's so bizarre. There's something that recently came out. What's that girl's name? Abigail Breslin. She was a actress. She was in some stuff.
Little Miss Sunshine. Little Miss Sunshine.
Yeah, she came out recently talking about some stuff that happened. I don't understand why it seems like in Hollywood particularly that these things happen to what appears to be mostly women, and they don't talk about it until years later. I don't understand that. I would be throwing a big fucking hissy fit. I'd be going into HR. This stuff would not sit in the world that I live in, the world that I work in. Those kinds of things would never happen. And I don't understand why Hollywood is so fucking abnormal that these things happen to people. And then they end up in court going back and forth with these. It's absolutely bizarre. Everything about Hollywood is a freak show.
The first thing, obviously, is I'm sure some of them want to preserve their career and continue to get hired. That cuts both ways too, right? You don't want to be seen as difficult to work with, even if it's a legitimate reason. The second thing is it's a career where it's going to attract people who are narcissistic. It's going to attract people who love to be on the camera and in front of the screen and completely full of themselves, right? And there's going to be a higher percentage of people that are just
weird.
Trouble.
So then why doesn't it attract people who would want to bring themselves attention by making a spectacle of themselves in the situation, by coming out with these allegations? If something happened to you, 10 years ago, why weren't you talking about it then if you are so interested in getting attention?
But wait, Breslin is the bad guy in this or the good guy in this? I'm trying to understand. What did Breslin go through?
Abigail, let me find the link.
That
Give me
little girl from Little Miss
multiple
Sunshine,
minutes.
she was also in some
Yeah.
stupid movie where there's a chef, Catherine Zeta-Jones, and there's a chef. Who's the chef? It wasn't Bradley Cooper, was it? Oh, can't think. There was
It's
some
that one
stupid
guy.
movie.
He played
There was a movie with
Two-Face.
Catherine Zeta-Jones where she was also in it, and Catherine Zeta-Jones falls in love with the chef. Don't ask me how I know this. I'm very embarrassed.
Well, I remember the movie vaguely. Yeah.
It was like called like, you know, I don't even know. I can't even remember the dumb name that it had. But imagine the dumbest name you could put that stupid chef movie with some romantic thing and this little girl. The dumbest name you can think of is probably what that movie was called.
Aaron Eckhart.
It's in the
Corey
chat.
got it.
Yeah.
And what was it called?
No reservations.
No reservation.
Sounds exactly.
Hey, it managed to crack me up. It's a rare occasion where it really managed to crack me up because I couldn't think the cheesiest and stupidest name. That's the one that they chose.
I think it's rather clever.
You got mail.
I don't know what to tell you. Aaron Eckhart. I'm sorry, Bradley Cooper, that I threw you into the mix.
Abigail Breslin reported a co-star's, quote, unprofessional behavior, and then a lawsuit was filed against me. I was deemed hysterical and told my fears were not real. Abigail Breslin posted a lengthy statement on both her Tumblr and Instagram accounts in which she remembered being called hysterical after speaking out about a co-star's unprofessional behavior. The, quote, Little Miss Sunshine Oscar nominee implied that she was inspired to post after Blake Lively filed a sexual harassment complaint against her. It Ends With Us co-star and director Justin Baldoni. Kate Beckinsale was similarly inspired to share her own set of harassment stories after Lively's complaint. Quote, when did the word woman become synonymous with scapegoat? Breslin asked at the start of her post. Quote, as I see the news each day, I realize this is the world we seem to live in. In light of recent events regarding the attempt to destroy the career and livelihood of a fellow actress and woman, I have felt compelled to write this as I have unfortunately been subject to the same toxic masculinity throughout my life.
I'm really tired. You know what? There's too many people also trying to piggyback on this stupid lawsuit, which in and of itself is two self-entitled, douchey people. I think that a lot, like Amber Heard suddenly was like, oh, I fully support her. I know what she's going through. You shut up. You're not going through whatever she went through. She had a workplace dispute that you could at best call SH and a workplace, which even that is a bit of a stretch considering all the information that's being shared. She went and she accused Johnny Depp of the craziest stuff, and in court it turned out it seemed like she was lying about it. I think that those are very, very different things, and I don't know why they want to lump in. And then all these kind of news publications that were kind of backing Amber and were salty because Johnny was sort of the one that came out on top there. They're now popping out of the woodwork and like, see, we were right about Amber Heard. Look at what happened with Blake Lively. Shut up. It has nothing to do one with the other. And the same thing with these ladies. I'm sorry, Little Miss Sunshine. I don't know what she wants. And Kate Beckinsale, who they put photos of her, and she looks really weird now. I'm sorry. I know that's not a nice thing to say, Six, but it's not like she looks older in herself. She just looks like a different person. Just throwing that out there.
Well, it has nothing to do with what she said, though.
Right. No, I had two emotions. One, she was annoying, and two, even that picture looked weird. But those were two different things. I may have combined things unnecessarily.
Exactly.
In any case, what I'm saying is that every kind of lady is popping out of the woodwork. Yeah, I know the feeling. I know the feeling. No, you don't know the feeling. These are different stories, different situations, and you can't just apply everything to the same type of situation. And all these ladies in Hollywood, they're not making themselves look good. The press and the New York Times and all these guys, they look bad as well. All these PR people look like jerks too. Basically, I can't find a good guy in this whole story. All these people, every time I read somebody talking about it, just somehow annoy me.
There's no good guys in toxic.
There is no good guy. They're all a bunch of annoying, douchey, self-entitled people, all now like pointing fingers at each other and saying whatever. Now, I'm not discounting. Maybe one of these ladies was on a set and she was treated poorly. I don't know. But I'm just saying, I just don't like how they're using this as their sort of battle cry, like this Blake Lively and Justin Baldoni. Justin Baldoni is a douchey, arrogant, male feminist weirdo, and Blake Lively thinks that she is the queen of the universe, and that is a really bad combination for two people to be on a low-budget film together. That's why this thing happened. It has spiraled out of control beyond anything reasonable, and I think that they're both to blame, including, as much as I like him, Ryan Reynolds for backing his wife and like being suckered into this stupid thing as well.
Well, I think that the reason that more women are coming out of the woodwork is because it's easier. The more people talk about it, the easier it is for other people to talk about it, which is why it's important to talk about things, quote unquote. I mean, if everybody started doing the challenge of, well, I can eat a can of Pringles in 24 hours, I'm going to be like, fuck yeah, I'm going to do it too. And that'll give me an excuse to go to the grocery store and buy a couple cans of Pringles and say, oh, I ate a can of Pringles in 24 hours because everybody else was doing it. So when everybody's kind of doing it together, it makes it easier to do it. So that's why people are coming out.
I agree with you.
My
I
problem
understand.
is, why the fuck didn't they come out when it was a problem?
I agree with
That's
everything
what
you
I
said.
find annoying.
I agree with everything you said. One, I never like this idea. I know I'm going to sound like a douche now, but I don't like it in general, not only with entertainment, but in general, that, you know, some lady is like, hey, I'll give you an example. Dustin Hoffman, okay? Dustin Hoffman, I don't know if you know, he was sort of canceled. You know why he was canceled? Because some lady came and said that in 1974, she was his assistant, and one time he apparently, according to her, put his hand on her behind. She told him to move his hand, so he moved it, and that's why he was canceled, from what I understand. Canceled 50 years later. You know what I'm saying? With nothing, with no, based on nothing. It's like, if this was the most important thing that happened in this lady's life with his assistant and the hand on her behind, why did she wait 50 years to speak about it if it's so important? You know what I'm saying? And people can say I'm the worst person ever for saying that. I don't know. Plus, in the 70s, I don't know how people acted. I don't know what the relationship between them was. Maybe they were sort of close. Maybe they weren't. I don't know. I have no context. It was such a stupid thing. You had John Oliver sitting there and grilling him. Oh, you assaulted a woman all these years. It's like, shut up, you dumb fucking idiot. Sorry,
I think
Were
that's
you
the challenge, right?
exaggerating?
What'd you say?
I just want to know if you were exaggerating about the 50 years later.
No,
50
no,
years.
there's some kind of
Okay.
dumb
Was it
story
literally
with
that?
Dustin
Okay.
Hoffman and some assistant.
You
You can go look at it. Maybe if I got any kind of detail wrong, I apologize for that. But I think that is the basic idea of how this thing started. That some lady said that like 50 years or was it 45 years old? I don't know. It was some stupid thing that sounded like a nothing burger to me.
I remember the story. The trouble is, and to go to your question 6, is like, I mean, when nobody's coming forward, it's frightening to come forward, right? Then once people start coming forward, it's like, okay, I can do this too. The trouble is, you get the 1,000 other people with dumbass complaints coming forward, and it drowns out the few who have a legitimate one, right?
Right. Exactly. Like the whole Me Too movement.
Yeah.
There were women who was that started by Harvey Weinstein? Or
No.
not started by him, but the actions that he took against these women. I don't know who started it, who coined it.
I kind of
whatever.
remember Kevin Spacey being at the front of that.
I
There
feel
was
like
some
there's so
serious
many people
bullshit coming out.
in the history of Hollywood that if they really wanted to do like a real thing, there probably were so many people like Harvey, so many of them. The only thing is that there's two things. One, he must have been a very serious offender in this matter. And two, he also, I don't know how to explain this, but he didn't change with the times. You know, he should have read the map. He shouldn't have done what he did, period. But I'm saying he didn't read the map and understand that like this kind of behavior wouldn't be tolerated in our modern day and age. And he was the worst offender. But do I think he was the only offender? I don't think so. I think that there's probably so many others that they just said, okay, we'll give you this guy. He's the worst. Here he is. It's like the same thing that they did with Madoff. It's like they bring one person, they're like, this is the guy. You wanted a guy? Here he is. And then they give you the guy, and all the rest of the people just go and nobody ever talks about him again. We've seen this with a lot of scandals. There's like one person that they pin it all on. Now, I'm not saying that the person they pinned it on isn't bad. I'm just saying that I assume that he's not the only one.
I mean, I pretty much assume there's more than one island. There's just lots of parties that people probably... We haven't heard about the parties, you know?
Hey, stop judging my life choices, you people. All right. Great discussion. We're back to Super Chats. And we're going to
And Nosferatu, is it good or bad?
Sofa King Jewish for $2 says, "Do you want to hear a vampire joke? It sucks." Boom,
Uh,
bam!
But I'm bumped.
Somebody hit the drum roll. Okay. Chaos Sonic 1 for
I'd have to
$2 says,
find it.
yo, where's the rabbit chicken tacos at? Well, they're downstairs by the kitchen. You'd have to come by Chaos Sonic 1. I don't know if there's any left. Bambino was left to run amok in the kitchen. I don't know if there's any left. He can jump pretty high. Oh my God. Icthulu for $10 says, Mexican Iron Man, parody skit for you and Chato, ICE child reform. Johnny not doing homework, Tommy not cleaning their room, Jane staying out with the boys, threaten ICE deportation, get that kid to be good again. All right, let's go. Put Mexican Iron Man in charge. I'll be in charge of the restraints. And we've got a member chat from our good friend, and there's been a member for 38 months, Mr. Nicholas Horton, who says, Happy New Year 2025 from the UK. Happy New Year 2025 from the UK, everyone, and especially to the bestest YouTuber ever and Alpha Rules Mikey. Okay, Nicholas Horton, you're fired. And as your punishment for sending such a ridiculous membership chat, you have to go to the transgender monument that's currently on display at Trafalgar Square in London. You guys hear about that?
Nope.
No.
But
You're kidding,
London
right?
checks out.
You guys didn't hear about that?
No.
Really?
I don't know, but how did you
I
get me
can't
so
wait.
riled up over all this crap? What
I know
is
how to
Blake Live?
I know how to pick topics that push your buttons because I know you so well.
I don't know why, because this whole
just
thing.
because-
Hashtag triggered.
Just because
It-
you and
it
I don't
does.
stream a lot doesn't mean I don't watch you all the time. I listen to you all the time on this
You
channel.
actually watch my streams, Mikey?
Fuck yeah, I do, but I don't say shit because if I see me in chat, you're gonna call me out.
I'll probably invite you to join me, and then you probably will run
There
away.
you
Right.
go.
The one time I got six, you hear this? Check this out. The one time I got invited to stream with Price on his channel, guess what? It was a test stream only to test his audio connectivity.
Well, that sounds like fun.
And then here's the worst
People
part.
like
Well, go ahead, Six.
people invite me all the time. Oh, you should come on my stream, and then I show up in their chat, and then they never send me a link. It's just empty words.
Right. Well, I got
Anytime I send
YouTubers
you a
are full
link,
of
you
shit.
say, "Oh, I can't do it. I'll see you later."
mine was
You
worse
sent me
because
one link in my whole life.
once I
And
got
what
on
did you
Sorry,
say?
Mike, go ahead.
once I got on stream with Price, you know what he said to his audience? He said, I said, wow, so honored. And you said, quote, I sent an invite to everybody else, and you're the only one that responded.
No, that you made up. I didn't say that. That is not true. That is not true. I actually only sent you the invite. It was just a random thing. I don't know why I sent it to you. I sent it to you, and you showed up. It wasn't a situation that I sent out a lot. And there was another time recently that I only sent you one, and you only answered. You didn't even answer me. About 5 days
Do
went
you
by,
see?
and
Look at that man. Look at Mikey.
5
Do you
days
see
went
his
by.
pain? And you were making it all about you, Price.
I spent 2 weeks in
Look at
South
him.
Carolina
Look at his
waiting for this
struggle.
guy to text
I was
me.
supposed to go to South Carolina to meet you and him, and then he
Yeah.
ran away also. Every time we do something, he runs away.
What? I was on jury duty.
That's what
So
you
you
say.
say.
That's what you say.
I have the paperwork that proves I was
I
on
feel
jury.
like there was some lady that came to town, and you forgot that you were going to hang out with us.
Well, right. Daryl
I
Brewer
mean-
says in that super chat, says, hello, he's been a member for 41 months. Hail Daryl Brewer. Daryl Brewer.
Hi, Daryl.
I meant
Happy
to send
New
him
Year,
a pic-
Daryl.
So Daryl sends me stuff periodically, and Daryl, I'm pretty sure you sent me this pin that my mom fell in love with, and she took it and she's hijacked it. So Mama Mexican Iron Man has the pin that I think it was in this case. Hold on, let me see. Where's Daryl?
Daryl makes amazing pens,
Right.
which sounds weird. I'm
Right. See,
obsessed with
this
pens.
is how you know I'm not
own
bullshitting.
Literally
Daryl,
hundreds.
it was the one that was in
Not
this
one of them is
case.
Daryl's.
And I took it out so my mom could use it. She's now officially hijacked it. So Mama Mexican Iron Man, I told her it was Christmas. And I told her it was from you. So I know you don't know her and she didn't know you, but I told her about you. And so thanks for your membership chat because it just reminded me because I was going to send you a picture of it with her writing and I forgot to do that earlier today. All right. Anyway, back to my pain and suffering.
Yes. Mikey needs reparations.
Oh, that's a great idea.
You know what I propose?
What?
All of Price's super chats that he received until the end of the year go straight to Mikey as reparations.
Until the end of the year,
What do
we
you
only
think,
have a
Bryce?
few hours, and nobody's going to send me any super chats, so you can keep them all.
Oh my God! See, I
Somebody
was
might
actually
send you a
thinking, like,
pooper
how much
sticker.
would that add up to? That's 0. It's gonna be 0 because you're not going live tonight.
I am. I'm going live at 11:45 p.m. Eastern, so there's 15 minutes.
There you go. There you go.
I know Six is going to show up like in those 15 minutes and give me $1 million.
Hey, Jason
Yeah, that's
Webster,
me. That's
you're
how
gonna-
generous I am.
I don't appreciate the insults, Jason Webster.
But you also, Mikey, I want to say one thing because you changed the subject. I
Right.
sent you a message. Maybe it was a week or two ago. I sent you a message, a DM, and you never answered me. And only later, when we were on a stream together, probably a week later, I reminded you that you never answered my DM, and then you looked at it. So
Well, shockingly, unbelievably, I got other stuff going on, and I'm not on. Okay, just because I'm on Twitter doing hateful stuff about Democrats and
a
liberals,
whole week you can't even look at a DM, and then
I
I'm
don't
the
look at
bad
all
guy.
the
You
shit
didn't
I'm
look
in.
at your
Okay,
DM.
all right. Let me ask for some
He
advice
gets a
from the
ton
chat.
of DMs every day.
People in the chat and people on this panel, let me ask your advice. Okay, I am probably in about 30 to easily 30 different groups, almost none of which I type into. They're constantly drowning out my DMs. Now, I've debated just leaving all these DM groups that aren't practical. Like I wouldn't leave the MEAD group, for example, but like some of these other big groups that I'm in that I've never seen nothing and I'm I'm debating just leaving. But the last time I did something like that, people flipped out like, "Oh, where's he going?" But that's
Because
why I
everybody
don't
can
read
see
the-
you left, and then it creates.
I
a
found, you
drama.
know how you have like 6 favorite
Yeah.
people that you could do like a pin their conversation? I was hoping I'd be one of those people, but I guess I'm not important enough.
I'm a big proponent of leaving group chats, but that's because they stress me out. But I mean, I know how many group chats I used to be in. I can't even imagine how many Mikey's in.
But you
There's
set
got to
the
be, and then that's
expectation,
not
right?
even
I'll
the,
bring my
the
DM up. I
individual
don't care. I'll
chats, and
share it
it's
on
not.
screen. Should I share my
It's
DMs
not
on
even
screen?
about like saying, "Oh, you know, Mikey's so popular. He's
No.
got so many people wanting his attention." That's not even what it's about. It's like
No,
you
it's
only
like
have so
people-
many
it's like-
hours in a day.
It's like everybody needs a Mexican in their group, so they add me.
You know what?
Yeah.
I still think you could have kind of scrolled and found my DM, but I understand.
Mikey is the YouTube
Wait, how did
town
we go
bicycle.
from my pain and suffering to you turning this around? Now it's about you and me.
Because
feeling
you
guilty.
said that you only invite me when there's no other choice. I invite you. Don't even answer my DM, so it's not a fair accusation. And
Did I
Six
just lose
also,
this
Six
argument?
also, I invited her and she didn't want to come on.
Price
Pink
is
Reds for
orange.
$10.
So.
Never. You're such a liar.
I didn't invite you.
Rawr!
Sorry.
Fight.
We're doing it's super chat time. Super chats.
What
I
was it
sent
again?
you an invite. You said even earlier that I sent it to you and you didn't come on this.
Shut up, Price. I will put you in the back. Spank you hard.
Oh,
Wait, put me in the back and spank me hard. I'm the one who wants to get spanked.
too late. Price won.
Why does he get to get spanked by you?
Because
don't
orange
know,
is
but it was
also
rather
DEI.
interesting.
I want to go. What do you mean? I want to go in the back and get spanked. I've been a naughty,
Seems
naughty
like a
little.
yo-yo.
I've been a naughty little taco boy. All right. Last super chat. Dean Krantz for $10. In defense of my little brother, Mexican Iron Man, I went down to Savannah and he came to pick me up to go shooting. We had a great time and had a great adventure. Mexican Iron Man is eternal. That is a true story. Yes, we had a okay. Now watch what's going to happen now, Dean. Price is going to turn that into, well, we had similar plans and I got canceled for jury duty or some chick that showed up. Right?
For months we were planning it, and then you had something. Anybody that ever gets those things, they manage to postpone it, to move it.
Couldn't. It was my South Carolina. It was my third time. The first time I got out of it was like a year ago. Then I got out of it again because I said I was in tax season. No. First was tax season, then was COVID, and I sent a copy of the test. This third time they said I had to show up, and if I didn't, I would be in contempt of court.
Oh my gosh.
They don't
I
fuck
mean,
around here.
contempting the court is exactly how you get out of it, though.
And CC himself was kind of wobbly on this whole project.
Yeah.
But we never cared.
I
if
was
we
making it a
showed
bit
up anyway.
difficult to.
You weren't making it easy. You're like, I got a lady friend. Everybody with their lady friends. I got a lady friend. I got to visit. How am I going to be there? And then Mikey
Yeah.
suddenly disappears. And I was, you guys are the ones that organized it first. You convinced me to join you. I'm like, okay, I'm in. And then you both started with all this weird
I
crap.
was in court. It was a murder case.
Yeah, of course. And
Yeah,
and
she
Cece,
I
killed
was in
him.
court too.
Suddenly Cece found a lady friend. He can't show up either.
Well, Price, if you had women throwing themselves at you, you wouldn't show up either. So,
You know
or
what?
am I right or am I wrong?
It depends
Yeah.
on the woman.
Yeah.
And for our last story of the night, trans and non-binary faces unveiled on the 4th plinth in the United Kingdom. Hundreds of plaster casts of transgender non-binary people have been unveiled as the latest installation on the Trafalgar Square 4th plinth in central London, called Mil Veces un Instante, 1,000 times in an instant. The sculpture was created by Mexican artist, of course it's got to be a Mexican, Teresa Margolles, and features the faces of 726 trans, non-binary, and gender non-conforming people. The plinth was born originally in 1841 to display a permanent statue of William IV, but money ran out. It was empty until 1999 when it became the location for an ongoing series of temporary artworks, including pieces by David Trigley, Rachel Weber. We don't know who they are. Anyway. You guys want to watch
That's repulsive. Sure.
This all sounds weird, Mikey.
Looks like a bunch of old men to me.
Is BBC going to claim it?
this? Why would they?
They claim everything.
Well, there's your monument. What does the chat have to say about this? I'm curious what the chat thinks. Yeah, let me let the chat get a better look at this thing.
Yeah. That's stupid as fuck.
Looks
If
like
I didn't know what they mean that to be, I wouldn't know what the fuck it is.
Yeah,
looks
the
like
fact that they applied the label. But did you read that the little right underneath the picture about how it's infused with hair and skin cells?
Wait, what?
That's disgusting. Scroll back up to the picture. And then read the little thing right underneath. I don't know what that's
The
called.
casts were
Keep
made
going
by
on.
applying plaster directly to the faces of the sitters, infusing the material with skin and hair cells.
Hmm.
That's gross. Gross, gross, gross. And then and then it's sitting out there, out in the fresh air where, like, eventually the skin cells and the hair cells are gonna start floating off, and you're gonna breathe them in, and you're gonna swallow them. Ooh, gross. That's disgusting. That's why I said it's disgusting, folks. So don't come at me for saying it's disgusting just because it's trans and non-binary.
It's a
That's not
very
disgusting.
unsettling image.
Yeah.
The BBC are super
Whatever
bored.
they were going for, it's just unsettling, regardless of what it's supposed to mean. I don't.
Well, go Team United Kingdom. Hopefully, do we have anybody from the United Kingdom in chat? We've got, here we got super chat. I got to read. The mom for $2 says, Mikey, you dug this whole Happy New Year panel, Alf. Love Alf. Oh my God, the mom.
Sweet kitty.
Why? All this started by me appearing on Midnight's Edge in the morning, and that news story about Alf coming back to TV and the license getting renewed is what set me off originally. If I'd just never done that show. Anyway, back to trans and non-binary. Thank you for the super chat, Mom. You guys excited for this display?
It's fine, but as soon as they apply they were probably working on that for God knows how long, and then they said, let's jump on the transgender non-binary wagon. We'll call it that, and everybody will love it, and they'll talk about it on Midnight's Edge After Dark because there's going to be a story. Yeah. They manifested it, and here we are.
Yeah. Price, when you go to London, could you take a picture, please, of yourself in front of the monument right there?
When I go to what? The London?
Yeah.
Sure. I haven't been there in many years.
Yourself licking the skin cells.
Yeah.
I want Price
to
in now.
Climb up there and get some licky lick action going.
I haven't been in London for at least 20 years, and I feel like it's very different now than it was then.
Nah, it'll be fine.
You'll be in so much trouble. You'll get arrested as soon as you get out. We saw what you
We'll
posted
never
on
hear
Twitter.
from you again.
You're going
I
to
actually,
jail.
when I was last time I was in London, I went to see a football game soccer game, whatever you want to call it, and I didn't have tickets, and there, I just went there knowing that I'll be able to make it work, and I closed a deal with some suspicious person outside the stadium, got some tickets, and saw the game, and saw it for much cheaper than most people.
Yeah, I mean, the closer to start time, the cheaper the tickets get.
Right. But I think that people sometimes don't understand that, and I don't know. I was really proud of myself that I managed to pull off the whole operation, and then I sat and I drank beer at like pubs and things like that, and it's really a nice experience. I feel like now maybe London isn't as cool, but back then it was pretty cool.
Oh, poor goddess, she's eating.
Well, that was
Sorry,
my London
guys.
adventures.
Blame Mikey. Hashtag blame Mikey.
Mark S47, Mike,
Mikey.
how long would it take you on a single shot to shatter every one of those for 500 yards? Take a long 500 yards? Not long, because I would use I don't know what I would use. I'd probably use a tank. Just shoot it from afar. Now, from 500 yards, it'd take a while. Well, all right. All right. Well, those are our news stories for the night. It's 8 o'clock.
Okay.
I want to thank from the top of the list down, Elijah Snow. I want to thank Spartan Bot. I want to thank Silver King Jewish, Shanatsky, Goddess of Whim, Dyrus, King Jewish again, Chaos Sonic 1, IC Thulu. Is that or Cthulhu? Is that Cthulhu? Cthulhu?
I think
I
it's
don't
Cthulhu.
Nicholas Horton because he's a meanie face. Thank you to Daryl Brewer. I'm kidding, Nicholas. Dean Krantz, The Mum, Goddess of Whim. So how about that Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man trailer? Yikes. Well, we talked about that last Thursday, didn't we here?
It was crappy, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if we
We
talked
talked about that on Thursday and we all puked up. It's awful.
Was it out Thursday? I think it was Monday on the
Was
morning
it
show.
Monday? Was it Monday?
I didn't think it had
It
been
all
out for that
blurs.
long, but I could be wrong.
Well, we'll leave that for Tom on Thursday then.
Yeah.
Thank
But you did
Goddess.
talk about it. I didn't hate it. I didn't hate the art style.
I did.
I don't know why I'm just trying to find something to love. Something
Well,
to not hate.
Me and Mom just started watching Landman here.
I watched all the episodes until now. It's pretty decent.
Okay.
I just got started on The Gentleman.
All right. Don't say anything more, Price, because you better not ruin it for me. Because I just started.
No, I'm not going to ruin it for you. I'm just saying I think it's pretty decent. It's not a bad show.
Is it better than Goonies?
It's for a more mature audience than Goonies, I think.
Good, because Goonies sucks. Oh,
You know, Goonies is good
You don't
if
like
you're a
Goonies?
kid. If you're a kid and you watch Goonies, I think that it's a good experience. Maybe as an adult, you could be less forgiving towards some of the things that happen there. But I think that it's a fun movie for kids.
yeah.
I like the Goonies. The
Yeah.
Goonies was the very first DVD I ever owned.
Oh,
I
well,
mean,
then-
I like it too, but I understand. I haven't watched it in some time, and I wonder to myself if I watch it now, if I'd find a lot of things that would annoy me. All I know is, as a kid, I really enjoyed it.
Well, good. That's what's important. Everybody isn't going to agree on everything, but at least people can enjoy what they like, and that's what matters most. CC Karaoke, Happy New Year to you. What's your next thing you're doing on the YouTubes?
I think I might sing some songs. It's New Year's Eve and all that. But
What?
Oh,
You're gonna
I
do
think-
karaoke tonight?
maybe.
Yeah, you two should do karaoke. You two are great together.
Oh, I'm such a good
I have
listener
no
to karaoke.
I have no hosting service. That's all.
What does that mean?
Well, I pay $40 a month for one of these fancy StreamYard type things. I'm
Is
broke.
Price going to join you? Price will let you use his. Won't you, Price? Won't you, Price?
I suppose there's something we can do, but actually, I'm going to be doing at 11:45. I have my Night Owl stream, so
Oh, for fuck's sake!
I don't know how I
All
would
right,
make
whatever.
that happen.
Have fun,
I
bye.
could do, we could talk maybe after that stream.
You two should talk. You two should
in
connect.
the middle of the night.
Make something happen.
Well,
We'll sort it out.
we'll sort it out. Maybe I have some ideas for you.
Oh, okay.
That's Price's favorite song, "In the Middle of the Night" by Billy
I want to get
Joel.
the group stuff back on in some capacity. I can't. I don't have $40 to spend on one of these things a month.
Well, after the stream, I'll give you some advice on how you could maybe avoid paying.
Ooh.
But
All
that's
All right,
Make
Mexican
everyone
Iron Man
happy.
will not be involved in your criminal exploit.
Mikey, have you ever done karaoke?
Fuck no.
We've been trying.
Tonight could be the night.
No, they've tried getting me on it. No, I don't sing. Look, actually, that's not true. I have sung a couple of songs, and I was told that I'm not that bad, but it's just, I can't do it. It's not in my DNA.
I sent you examples of me doing
Does somebody
karaoke
have
for
to super chat?
No, I don't want to.
for Spanish.
How much of a
I
super
sent-
chat would somebody have to send for you to karaoke tonight with CC?
Dude, I just can't. I can't do it. I just
So
don't have-
$5.
I don't have the confidence. I just don't have the confidence.
But you said that
Translation, you gotta the lady
you
over.
complimented me on how I sing in Spanish.
right. You
She's
do,
under
but
the
you sound
desk.
good. You sound good. Me, not so much so.
But you said my accent was even decent.
I did. It is good.
That's
But
all
that
I
has-
wanted to hear. You've
No, it
redeemed
is,
yourself.
It is, but that doesn't mean I'm gonna sing. All right, you guys are getting me sidetracked. All right, so like and subscribe, and I don't know if this is the right outro or not, but I want to thank everybody. Thank you, my panel, for showing up. Tom, Connors, and Andre, please don't fire me. I was just trying to do this to have fun, and I actually thought Tom would show up while after I did this, but here we are. And to everybody in the chat watching, all 200 of you that have been with us tonight, thank you so much. A happy new year from Mexican Iron Man, from everybody at Midnight Sedge After Dark. And let's all say goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.